To be diagnosed as being insulin resistant, that is, to have metabolic syndrome, you need to be able to tick at least 3 of the following: high blood pressure, high sugar, low HDL, a high waist circumference, and high triglycerides or fats in your blood. Now, the triglycerides are there. In fact, they're often one of the first hints of a metabolic problem. They're routinely tested and dutifully noted, but never really acted upon. The reason, right now, there is very little in a doctor's toolkit to fix the problem. This is an area of active research with quite a few candidates currently being tested, so the situation might change in the future. But right now, there are meds to lower blood sugar levels, lower blood pressure, and lower LDL. Now, if you're paying attention, high LDL is not officially a problem of metabolic syndrome. Low HDL is the problem. But there are no meds to fix the low HDL, so compelled to fix something, fixing high LDL is better than doing nothing. Bring on the statin. So, what is the story with triglycerides? Well, a group of researchers based in India have been obsessing about the elevated triglyceride story for years. And bit by bit, they've pieced together what is going on. Their insights offer a relatively easy to implement lifestyle solution to high triglycerides. And it's not to eat less fat. I know this is somewhat counterintuitive. Logic says if you eat less fat, you will have less fat floating through the circulation. That is, your triglycerides will be lower. But biology doesn't always follow human logic. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we learn about the hogshead shuffle, which sees your liver pumping triglycerides out 24/7. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. Now, when you tuck into a meal, whether it be steak and chips or pizza, the first priority is to put away the groceries. This is insulin's job. A feeding frenzy brings insulin out. He scuttles around and makes arrangements to get the glucose gates up so the sugar can be squirreled away for later use. But sugar is not the only nutrient insulin puts away. Arrangements are made for iron, for magnesium, sodium, amino acids, and fats. Now, the primary destination for those fats are the fat cells or adipose tissue. Unfortunately, popping a dollop of fat into the circulation is not an option. Fats and water don't mix, so the fats have to be processed. The intestine takes the lead on this, packaging the fats into specialized structures called chylomicrons, which are then dropped into the lymphatic system, and from here they're distributed around the body. The process takes hours. So while glucose levels peak within an hour or so of a meal, the fats are reaching their peak around 5 hours after the meal. Now the liver backs up the intestine. He packages the fat into VLDL particles and then ships them out, dropping them directly into the circulation. Of course, packaging and storing fats is only appropriate when you've just eaten. If it's been a few hours since a grocery delivery, the right thing to do would be to hold onto those fats. They're needed for fuel. Because, well, a hungry brain is a nightmare and a liability. Feeding the brain is the liver's #1 priority. So, how does the liver know what to do? Well, all the fat, whether it be from your diet, homemade, or shipped in from the fat cells, passes through the liver and ends up in special fat cupboards referred to as lipid droplets. The lipid droplets are moved around the liver on tiny little trains. The presence or absence of insulin determines where the liver droplets are shipped to inside the liver. When insulin is around, the liver droplets travel on kinesin 1 on the smooth endoplasmic reticulum line. This line drops them off at the edge of the cell where it's easy to process them for export. When insulin is not around, the lipid droplets travel on the mitochondrial line. This line ships the lipid droplets to the cell's power stations. At the power station, the fats can be burned directly for energy, or they can be split into ketones. The resulting ketones are then shipped out to provide fuel for hungry body cells. Hungry body cells. This line only runs when there have been no fresh deliveries for several hours. That is, the body is in a fasting state. Hang on a minute. When you're insulin resistant, it's hard to get into this fasting state because thanks to the bad body chemistry that is happening, insulin levels are high morning, noon, and night. This means that the lipid droplets never swing past the mitochondria. They're always riding the smooth endoplasmic reticulum line. VLDL production and secretion never ceases. And as a consequence, triglyceride levels run high. An additional problem is that the VLDL particles leave short of triglycerides because it's hard to keep them fully stocked. Small, dense VLDLs morph into small, dense LDL particles, and it's small, dense LDL particles which are associated with cardiovascular disease. So the fix for high triglycerides and cardiovascular disease is to do the hoghead shuffle. Change the train line. Dropping the insulin levels will stop insulin from commissioning off to keep loading the lipid droplets onto kinesin 1 24/7. And this will drop those triglycerides back into the normal range. To discover tools and strategies you can use to rein in insulin, download the Willpower Report. It's free, and begin the journey today to creating better body chemistry and better health. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Sign up for a one-on-one health conversation or browse our library. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone whose triglyceride levels are running high? Share this video with them so they know how to get their fats moving on the mitochondrial line instead of on the endoplasmic reticulum line. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.